Jason and Marva?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a little malfunction on my end to work through, and I'll just turn it up when you guys are speaking. All right. Well, I just want to welcome everyone here to our first Telesummit. We're having a little bit of a technical challenge with the base product that we're using here on my particular platform. So just know that we're working through these issues, and we are here to serve. This is Lotus Blossom Clinic's first Telesummit, and this is the first of 4 segments that we will be doing. We will be doing movement medicine today with these lovely practitioners who you just saw on the video above. And next Sunday at 1 o'clock, we're changing our time to 1 o'clock. So those who have other activities like church in the morning, they can go there and then come to our Telesummit. At 1 o'clock next week will be acupuncture and natural medicine with 5 more of our practitioners. And at 1 o'clock on the 31st, we'll be doing food as medicine. And then finally, on June 7th, we'll be doing energy medicine. So just know that we are here and having a good time sharing all of the gifts that we love to share with you. And wanted to give you a little more background on who we are. Lotus Blossom Clinic is it's a wellness clinic. We deal with all kinds of things. In fact, we have 20 practitioners actually at the clinic working in various realms. And 4 of those beautiful people are here today with us. And they are Dr. Candy Love, right next to me here on the screen, Heather Phillips, and I should give you their titles too, because these are important. Dr. Candy is a yoga teacher, a Iyengar yoga teacher, a yoga therapist. She does body work, and she's also an energy practitioner. Heather Phillips is founder of Muscle Tuners International. She specializes in neuromuscular energy balancing and self-care techniques. And hopefully you brought your tape measure to hers. Marva Sletton, if you'd wave Marva, there we go. Marva is a physical therapist, massage therapist, certified lymphatic drainage therapist, and a certified Traeger practitioner, which is what you heard about today. And Jason Wicks, thank you, Jason. He calmed us all down a bit right before this. He is a massage therapist, a Reiki master, and a Theta healer, in addition to being our Qigong instructor at the clinic. So I wanted to just get us started right here with our movement medicine panel with a great question that was submitted actually by Candy. So I'm going to start this question with you, Candy. How is movement actually medicine?
This is a very large topic, so I'm going to try to cull it down. There are 2 aspects to it, the word medicine, the word movement. And so medicine actually has 2 aspects. And in the modern medicine, what has happened is half of the definition, I'll say that way, has not been the focus. So the full definition of medicine is an art and science of maintaining health. So when we start with that as the big picture, this is all what everything we just witnessed in the presentations and all that Lotus Blossom offers falls in that category. Part 2 of the definition is diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of health issues and disease. And that part is a little bit the wonky part for us, because modern medicine is claimed diagnosis. So we don't ever say we're doing diagnosis, but we do offer many tools. And this is what I think was so beautiful today, is you saw 4 approaches to healing, to health, that under this umbrella of movement medicine is offered. The second word is movement. And then that is, you saw several examples of speed, of focus, of how to do things differently. So there's not like one better than the other. But the fact is, movement affects all 11 systems of the body, circulation, digestion, and so on. And when that movement is happening, then chemistry is released, and the body has its own medicine chest. So we're accessing what's innate.
Wow. So there's a lot to be taking in there, a lot of breadth of understanding of what movement and medicine really mean. Right. So who else would like to respond to that one? How about you, Heather?
Movement as medicine, I do believe that when we are moving our bodies, we are creating that innate wisdom and bringing energy and health and well-being to our bodies. So my question was really about what's the difference between energy and energy movement and movement. So do you want me to go ahead and explain that?
Well, sure. Go ahead.
So movement to me is the activity of moving our bodies. So whether it's cycling or jogging or walking or lifting a can, reaching for things out of our cupboard, functional fitness, some people call it, that's all movement. Energy movement is our ability to move the chi energy flow through our bodies using movement. And also the pure definition of energy movement is the energy, the moving of the chi energy through our bodies. That's the movement of energy as opposed to moving our bodies. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
And I agree with whatever
Marva,
Candy said.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. And Marva, go ahead and respond, please.
Okay. Yes. First of all, if we're alive, we're moving. It's what we are. Everything that we learn as we develop as children, we do through our using our bodies and our senses. Unfortunately, in today's culture, we're very out of touch with our bodies. But there's all this amazing information that our nervous systems are making available to us all the time if we choose to tune into it and make use of it. Through movement medicine, we can learn to use our bodies in much more healthy ways to develop better movement patterns and postural patterns. And because there's communication going on all the time in all parts of our brain, as we learn changes in our body, we're learning changes in our mind as well, our attitude. So I hope that helps.
Great, thank you. Anyone else want to add anything more to that?
Yeah, I would like to add something. First of a little anecdote. I remember I worked for this chiropractor, and he said, "Look, no matter what's going on in your life, whatever your pain is, whatever you just have to keep moving. Just always have to keep moving." And there's this mechanism in the body where we tend to hold on to things, and we may hold on to them and tight muscles, or other places that we get stuck. And often it's emotion, often it's all sorts of things that get caught up in our body. And if we don't bring movement to it, and it's not just the movement, but it's the rush of the blood, the energy getting into those places, they remain stuck. And they remain in a place where they can become something worse too, health-wise and so forth. So the movement that we bring is the medicine, and that it's getting blood, it's getting nutrients, and it's getting us more connected with our body. So.
There's one more component to the blood and the energy flow, and it's the lymph flow. So our hearts pump blood, our muscles pump lymph. And lymph is twice as big as the blood system. Like there's more the lymph system is much bigger than the blood system. It doesn't get as much attention, but when we move our muscles, we move the lymph, and it's the lymph that carries nutrients in and the toxins out of our bodies. It interacts and interplays with the rest of the systems, of course, but we have direct access to the lymphatic system through our muscles and movement.
Excellent. Yes, Candy.
One more aspect to play on what everybody's adding to this is that the breath is movement. As Marva said, movement is always happening. Jason said, and all of the demonstrations. Well, you talked about that, or you saw it. But the fact is, the breath is the natural movement that actually not say initiates everything else. But without the breath, we're not here. So all of these movement as medicine involves the breath, and there's a focus that of how to actually make that more efficient versus the fact that we're all breathing, just accept, okay, we're breathing. But the art, rather than just the science, the art of all that we're talking about is the fact that there is a way to actually do these things to bring efficiency, intelligence, enlivening all the bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, so that there's a sense that we have become more easy with what's innate, more aware of what's innate, better connected to that element. So that movement is, as Mara says, very natural. But if we just go to what is the main movement that's sustaining us, then everything else becomes enlivened.
Yes, yes, I agree. Absolutely. Marva.
Yeah, a couple of things. One about Heather's comment about the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is like the freeway for our immune system. So proper functioning of the lymphatic system is essential. And then with respect to what Candy just said, the beautiful thing about the breath is that is one function that of the autonomic nervous system that we have direct control over right now. I can change my breathing right this minute. And in doing that, I can alter what's going on in my autonomic nervous system. I can switch to a parasympathetic state just like that by changing my breath.
Yes, and believe me, I have been using that technique recently. I don't know how I would have gotten through some of these technology hurdles that we've all been going through without meditation, yoga, asana practice, breathing practice, and yoga, qigong. I mean, I don't know what I would have done. The breath is so powerful. Yeah, so let's go back to Candy for a moment. What distinguishes yoga, Candy, from other types of movements?
This is not meant to be any really comparison as to which one's better. It's just how the active approach. And so to me, what is different is what actually is bigger, that each one of us offers a technique that's effective. And it's going to be a personality thing of what you're attracted to. It's going to be the teacher approach. It's going to be the umbrella of knowledge that you want to enter. Yoga is one of the distinction factors, is that we're going to do a lot of different movements, and we're going to take it through the full range of the 12 different types of movement our body can make, in focusing with the breath, in focusing with where the mind is. So it's a training of body, mind, spirit, and because it has a seated meditation, seated, lying down, standing, breathing practices, as well as the movement body positions. It's really quite diverse in offering what anybody could actually enter the field of yoga, because there's so many different ways to approach it. It's kind of like it'll match something that appeals to you if you want to enter that umbrella of yoga. I think the vastness, as Jason mentioned, of 4,000 years of Qigong, 4,000 and 5,000, at that point, who's counting of the fact that these are ancient arts they've been proven? And I know Heather's and Marva's are all integrating these ancient arts. There's none of them are separate, left out. It's really going to be what attunes into your own heart opening, your mental way, the way you can come into balance, union, connection with all that's possible within yourself.
Yes, a wonderful approach to looking at that, because that's why you are all at Lotus Blossom Clinic, because you offer these amazing opportunities to reconnect with our body, mind, and spirit. And I love each one of what you do. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to be in all. I want to move over to Marva for a moment. Marva, what sets Traeger apart as different and uniquely effective for pain and stress management and other issues?
Well, I can think of a couple of things. Number one being that Traeger is not, it's not a technique or a protocol. It's actually the manner in which the practitioner works, a certain quality of touch, a certain quality of presence that brings about the changes in the patient. Traeger practitioners learn very specific qualities of touch. So, and we know through neuroscience that human connection is necessarily a part of effective treatment of trauma or stress. And sensory experience is necessary. And so Traeger very much, provides both of those things. I do want to say I completely agree with Candy. One thing I've certainly learned over the years is there's no one thing that is it, all of these different aspects have real benefit.
Great, thank you. Moving over to Jason for a moment. Jason, I want to know, why do you do Qigong?
Why do I do Qigong? I started as really just, I was practicing Reiki, and, Reiki is energy and energy movement. And I said, well, why can't I do Reiki on myself, And I started just to sort of move with the energy and so forth. And it kind of led me to learning more about energy and movement and so forth, and led me to acupuncture school, and there was very, they were like, you need to do Qigong. And I was like, okay. But I tell you what, Qigong has got me through every aspect of my life, the darkest, most difficult, most challenging places. Even if I could only do a lying down Qigong, as long as I had energy moving in my body, it kept me from depression, from utter sadness. Just, it was able to help me work through every aspect, and now with everything that's been going on, it has given me also a gift to bring out into the world, to say, hey, let's share this energy. Let's all have this energy movement and so forth, and help one another. And, it makes me happy. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's playful. And it's taught me a lot about releasing the things that aren't serving me in my body, that aren't serving me in the world, and so forth. And yeah, it's just been a blessing in my life.
Yes, Candy.
To piggyback on that, because it could have been Jason speaking for me about my world of entering into yoga. And I feel like that's the beauty of these ancient arts, is that we are not the same, as Marva said, in that we're going to be drawn to something that really brings us home and within ourselves. And it's like, I was led toward yoga. I experimented with pretty much everything that everybody's talked about here. And then it rang true for me and got me through my times. And I think that's what all of these things are. Any of the services even offered at Lotus, because we're talking about nutrition, and yoga doesn't leave that out. It talks about a schedule for the day, the rhythms of the day, the biorhythms of the day. So nothing's left out of our topics. It's got to resonate with your own lifestyle. It's got to resonate with making you feel whole and a better human being. And that's just not a focus of a lot of what we find in what we call the modern medicine, the Western medicine. And that's the beauty of all these arts, is it's got to really ring. My phrase is make the heart sing. And that's what, as Jason was saying, Qigong did for him, that yoga has done for me. As I'm hearing Marvin and Heather say, their hearts are just like, and just when they talk, you can just, you can feel the resonance and the alignment.
It's basically the get something that works in your life to work with the stressors and the disappointments and all of that we have in this human experience. I want to ask Heather a question, and because your situation is unique, and there's something that brought you to doing what you do. If you could tell us quickly, what brought you to doing what you do?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll make it short. So I had back surgery when I was 20 years old. And at that point in time in my life, I only knew modern medicine. I only knew what the doctor told me. I only knew what I was, there's a protocol. You go put a back brace on for 6 months. You go for physiotherapy for 3 months. You go back to work. you start your exercise, you keep your movement. I was in the hospital for a month when I was 20 in the summer. Terrible. Anyway, so fast forward to 6 months after the back brace, I went to physiotherapy. But in that process, I had developed a new pain in my back that wasn't there before surgery. And I went to the physiotherapy, and it was actually hurting me. The ultrasound, the TENS, like everything that they were doing with me and my back was making me feel worse. And when I asked them about this new pain in my back, I was referred to the surgeon, who said, well, we can open you up and do an exploratory and find out what's wrong. And I just I'm just even shaking now. And I threw out my hands and I said, there's got to be a better way. I was blessed that I found that better way when I was still 20. And by the time I was 22, I was teaching Touch for Health. So my experience of the meridian system started when I was 21, and you're learning the meridian system through the ancient Chinese acupuncture system through Touch for Health. Coming full circle to today, I developed self-care techniques throughout that whole time. So not just Touch for Health, but a whole bunch of other things. And so I compiled all the techniques together for 20 plus energy boost self-care techniques. So I'm really all about personal empowerment with this energy movement. And that's where I'm at today.
Great. Well, you did that pretty well in a fairly short amount of time. Thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, I just want to check in with everyone here that, we're looking at daily practices, and to say maybe a little bit something else about them. I want to go to Marva for that. Marva, how do you use Mentastics, which is a part of the Traeger piece, in your daily life?
Yes, Mentastics are mindful movements that are taught by the practitioner to the client to do on their own. And probably the most core philosophy of Milton Traeger's work is what could be easier, what could be lighter, what could be softer. It was all about how to be easier in your own body and mind. And so, yes, I do practice Mentastics daily. Lately, sometimes I practice them more than daily because I feel a need to do that. It helps me, number one, to be centered in my body, not like out with all the craziness. Number two, it helps me to slow way down, to pay attention to what's happening in my body, and to find something different, something more comfortable, something that feels better.
Good.
Does that help?
Yeah, it helps. Thank you. Okay. And Jason, I just want to come over to you and ask you about, what do people need to know before they come to a Qigong class? Do they need to have some prior understandings or experience?
No, really, anybody, it's open to anybody. And, the movements, it's very simple and it's very easy. And really, anybody should be able to do it. I mean, obviously people have some sort of restrictions, in movement or whatever, we just modify it for them. But really, it's open for everybody to do. And it's meant to be simple, it's meant to be easy. Just like Marva was talking about, it's meant to be, graceful and light and so forth. So the easier it is, the lighter it is, the more your body's able to breathe, the more chi and energy is able to move through your body and your system.
And Jason, I think that when I do Qigong, I get to a different brainwave state, is what it feels like. That's what brings the calm in, along with the breathing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think we're all going to drop down into those alpha states at least, and, you're just going to calm down, like that movement where we were, bringing our hands down to Dantian. It's just going to gently drop your system down. You're going to relax. The brain's going to become quiet. It's just a natural part of it.
Great, thank you. Marva?
I was just going to say, you know, if you are feeling relaxed and comfortable in your body, your mind is not going to be running around being crazy. The two things necessarily go together. So.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Candy, I just want to ask a similar question of you then. Can anyone do yoga, especially if they've got limited flexibility or other issues?
Yes, another misconception is that you have to be flexible to enter in yoga. And the whole thing about any of these arts, but in yoga as well, is that you come in with the body you have. That's the start point. It's not a comparison to where you were, what you want to be. It's very much now moment, present moment practice. So it's to learn really how to be comfortable with yourself where you are. So again, it's leveling. So, you don't want to just come into, I mean, a lot of people offer different advanced classes and those work with. So there's a lot of that leveling. But actually, depending on how it's taught, and what I'm offering online is a chair yoga. So anybody can come to that. And that's what I want to make the field of consciousness available to anybody through the physical body, the art of using the physical body to become more aware and conscious and connected, so that we can make all of the movements graceful and easy, and awareness is built so that it isn't about getting someplace. It's not about the pose and being perfect in it. It's about bring your body and your mind together so you can focus in the moment. So yeah, anybody can really come in with an ailment, with an injury. I really haven't found anybody that can't do yoga as a limitation, except what their preferences are, because it's so adapting. And particularly in the Iyengar yoga system, that is our what we're trained in, is to adapt to each body that's in front of us. There's no, everybody does the same thing. So I think that adaptation makes it really adaptable to any kind of age, as well as a condition. There's not really any limitations to it.
I've certainly seen that. And, I want to recognize that several of you right here are doing a lot of things online now. This whole pandemic situation with sheltering in place has called us all forth. That's why we're here today as well. So I would like to have an opportunity for each of you to just discuss what kinds of things you are doing online and how you're helping people. And let's start out with Jason.
Right now, I offer classes every Sunday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. I haven't really extended beyond that, but I'm thinking about offering a longer class on a Saturday. And I'll let you know when that comes to be.
Okay, and where will they find you?
I'm offering that too.
They'll find you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. I posted on my page under Jason Rex, spelled Jason.
Yeah. Just to be clear, because it says Jason underneath his picture there, but his name on Facebook is Jason.
I haven't found a way to change that yet.
Yeah. So Marva, are you doing something online these days?
I am going to, starting tomorrow. I will be offering some fantastic instruction on the Lotus Blossom Facebook page, as well as my own Facebook page, which is The Nature of Wellness.
Great. Thank you. And so that will be some fantastics and oh, wow. I'm excited. Okay. So look here on this page tomorrow to see what Marva's offering, and we will make sure there's an event up as well. And Heather, what's coming up for you?
Wow. I am offering a free 4-day challenge called Win the Pain Game. And it's all about learning how to think through your pain. And it's really, truly a game. It's going to be really fun. Free for 4 days, starting May the 19th, which is Tuesday. And then after that, there's an opportunity to do a paid group coaching program for 7 weeks. So you can find that at winthepaingame.com. So it's a website, winthepaingame.com, to register and join in the game. It'll be fun.
Good. And Candy, what is your schedule?
So I'm offering 7 classes a week, Monday through Friday mornings and Monday and Wednesday evenings. The Friday class is the only MAC class. That's a traditional, what most people are familiar with, and using, again, an iron, all the props. The other 4, 5, 6 classes are using chairs and other props. So we are going to stand, we are going to sit. The main thing so far, we've not gotten down to the floor. It's we've eliminated this. So that's the access to anybody. And then private yoga. So individual sessions, I found out I can do online. The only way that was okay to do, that I can still feel what I need to in working with people individually. And you can find that on by sending me an email, yoginicandy62@gmail, and then I will send you the information. It's also posted on my Love Works Facebook page, and you'll find the schedule there. But you would have to contact me to register.
Good, good. Okay. So I just want to mention that at some point in time, we hope to be doing live events again. And we're all progressing through this to be as safe as possible and provide the services to people to meet their needs as best we can. So I really want to honor that each of you has stepped into this world to continue that. Nobody gave up and just said it's too hard. We all went forward. So I think congrats to all of us here. And yeah, and I appreciate each one of you so much. I want to be sure to note that each one of you on this panel has the opportunity to communicate back out with everyone who's listening to this today in the comments below the Facebook posting where our pictures will be, where the panel here is. And you can post down there your contact information, any special offers, the class times, anything you want to put in there. Okay. Okay. So is there anything else to finally wrap us up? Any other things burning that you'd like to speak about?
I just like us all in the online panel here, as well as those that are watching us and will watch us, to say we all take a breath together and just settle into this community we now have that is not in person, but a community that is equally as effective, equally connecting in the sense that we can still all breathe together. So just close your eyes. No big thing to watch. Inhale and exhale through your nostrils first. And do several long, there's no instruction here, just a long inhalation, long exhalation, 2 more, that says, I am breathing with others at the same time. I'm sharing this very breath of breaths right now through the technology airwaves, through the waves around us of what the air is on the planet that is shared by all of us. Namaste.
Namaste. And as we were doing that, I heard a bird, beautiful twitter outside the door.
Yep.
And also just to acknowledge that this is a venue for community. In-person venues happen and online venues happen. And I've watched as, for example, Jason and Candy have developed these ongoing groups online. There's a sense of community in each one. So just blessings to each of you in all that you do. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say one more thing about what's coming up. Remember, next Sunday and the 2 after that. So 3 more times. See if I can get my fingers in. There we go. Everything's backwards. 3 more times we'll have an opportunity with this Telesummit to be seeing more of our practitioners and all of the beautiful things that they provide. Next Sunday at 1, acupuncture and natural medicine. The following Sunday, May 31st, Buddhist medicine. And on June 7th, energy medicine. So join us right here for these upcoming events with our Telesummit series. Thank you and have a beautiful day wherever you are and whenever you are. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.